I showed y'all what I thought was the largest cypress tree in this stand. And then my memory from 6 years ago came back. And this dividing stream that goes underground, I remember that I had approached this area from up on the hill and came around and I was on that side of the stream, which sparked the memory in my head that the original tree I thought I was looking at is so much bigger than the one I showed y'all. This cypress tree is indeed massive, and I think it's the biggest one on this side of that stream. In an amazing moment and taking in the glory, as I approached it, I thought to myself, this has to be the same tree. But something didn't feel right. For some reason, a memory flashed back. It's so much bigger than the one I showed y'all. I'm just blown away knowing that I didn't show y'all the biggest cypress tree I've ever seen in this stand. And I showed you another massive cypress tree over there. But there's so many massive ones here, it's so easy to get turned around and confused as to where that massive cypress was. And I can't believe that I found a second. So this is going to be my attempt to get closer to the original massive cypress tree that has knees that are over my head. I knew it seemed like it was so much bigger. I can't believe there's another tree here that I forgot to show y'all, or that I mistook them as the same tree and they're totally different trees. So I'm gonna take a little hike and we're gonna go look at this other massive cypress tree, y'all. Oh my God, the tree is huge. I can see it, it's right there. Yep, that's definitely a totally separate tree. Let's get over here and look at that tree. Oh wow. The diameter on this cypress is freaking massive. Holy shiitake mushrooms. Oh, it's wet. This is the original monster I saw. Totally different tree. And this one is fatter, y'all. Look at the knees on that one. I mean, the knees are freaking 10 foot tall. Holy shit. There's a view showing the entire tree. But yeah, like when I stand at those knees, that's what it looks like right now. I guess I'm gonna take my shoes off. Gosh, it's gonna be a mess. Take my shoes off and take a look at that tree up close. Here we go. From my experience, setting the camera up and getting a further away shot really shows the scale of this tree. I mean, these are massive. These things are larger than a blue whale. Kind of like how when I showed the flashback video from 6 years ago, you really couldn't tell a whole lot about the tree. This camera angle will give you an idea of what I felt like walking up on a monster like this. And cypress trees are the largest trees in diameter in Florida. They are closely related to other massive trees like the sequoia, redwood, dawn redwood, and they fall in the same family as those trees. They are all gymnosperms. Oddly though, cypress trees lose their needles. They're deciduous trees. This is why they call them the bald cypress. What actually makes them a gymnosperm is the fact that they have cones like a pine tree does. Cypress trees are actually really amazing. They're one of the only trees that can survive completely submerged in water. Other examples include mangroves. But here, off the coast, on the land, in the swamp, marshlands of Florida, cypress trees rule all of the aquatic trees. Cypress trees form whole entire niches. Cypress trees provide cover for small critters and fish with the knees, creating pools that allow smaller fish to not be preyed on by other bigger fish. While one theory suggests that cypress knees are used for helping with gas exchange, there are many theories out there, like giant thorns to prevent dinosaurs from feeding on the foliage, or what one of my subscribers suggested, it's the tree's attempt to build soil around its root system, those knees acting like the riffles on a gold pan, and kind of acting like the beavers of the plant world by collecting leaf litter, dust, and floating debris, allowing the soil to build up around them. And even though I'm a certified arborist, I've never heard that theory before. It's a pretty valid and good one. I'm going to go ahead and do a freeze frame of this so we can lay side by side the previous large cypress tree I showed y'all and the actual size of this one that we just found again after 6 years of waiting. I set the two photos up in Pixel Lab to try to set them side by side. I try to make my body the same size in both images to give y'all an idea of the size comparison. Now the tree to the right of the one in the image on the right is actually a little smaller than the one I'm holding, but it looks bigger because it's closer to it. Nobody ever told me these trees existed. The only reason I found all of these trees was just my attempt to be adventurous and find new things. As I left this ancient tree site, I couldn't help but feel joy in my heart. And it's weird, it's like the longer you're in these kind of places, the more things you notice. As I left, I saw many cool bird species, one of my favorite animal types. And like I said in the last video, I hope this place remains unchanged so people in the future can enjoy it the same way I have. And I got a serious question for you, person that's viewing this video. Why aren't you hitting the like button? I mean, it's free. It helps me out tremendously. You should always consider doing something positive for another person. And if you're so kind to leave a comment, I would greatly appreciate that too. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please post them there as well. And don't take it the wrong way. I feel like you gotta say it in a way that catches people's mind in order to get them to do things. But these videos do take some time, and you gotta be adventurous. So, for that guy right there, we'll see you next time in the great outdoors. I'm your host, Alex, the Florida Wildlife Guy. Peace.